What's up, guys? I'm here with another video, and this time I really wanted to talk to y'all about frenemies. So, I was invested in frenemies because I've been watching. I didn't watch since episode 1. I probably started to watch around episode 6, 7. Yeah, I wasn't like in the beginning, but I started to watch pretty early on. And the reason I found out about this was because I've been following Trisha for a while. Overall, I really liked frenemies because it was just a different kind of banter. It was not nice, and it was really talking about everything. Kind of how like Trisha was with like her past relationships, but this one was more hardcore. Both of them brought lots of different topics, lots of different things they talked about. I feel like it's gonna come back one day, maybe, but then again, everything that Trisha ends, we've seen that has she hasn't really gone back to that. We still haven't seen her with Shane or Jeffrey, or every really relationship or everything that she has ended seems like she really cuts it off and she never goes back to it. I don't feel like she's the type of person that would go back to something, even if she kind of feels like she was wrong. She'll just like turn her nose and like never go back to it unless all her other projects don't get a lot of money, and then she's like, oh, I need to make some quick money. Let's go and film another episode. And I'm pretty sure Ethan will agree to this, mainly because he likes money too. I mean, who doesn't like money? They have a house, a really expensive, nice house. All of them are driven by money, right? So I feel like both of them are kind of in the wrong here because Trisha, she, ever since episode 1, they've talked about everything and anything. And so, like, even some of their past arguments have been about the highlights money. I feel like Trisha doesn't care about the 5%. She just cares about the fact that she's not getting none of the highlights money, or that she doesn't really have a voice on how the show is run or produced. And like, even from the first or the second time she walked out, that was one of the biggest topics, one of the biggest arguments that she has in the show. She should really think about the fact that all of it was Ethan's property. Like, it was his house, his cameras, his microphones, his everything, everything, like his channel. So I'm pretty sure Trisha should have talked about this behind closed doors and been like, hey, I really want to have more of a voice. This fight should have taken place behind closed doors, or Trisha should have spoke out about this behind closed doors. It's like a meeting about the show, and it should not have happened. It shouldn't have happened in front of her viewers. It's just like messed up. And Ethan, since it's his company, his show, he should have been like, no, 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 like, let's not talk about this. I'm gonna stop talking about money. I'm gonna stop talking about anything that has to do with the show that hasn't, if he's the boss, if he wants to act like the boss, he wants to say, hey, I'm the boss, then he should have stopped that topic or not even published it on YouTube. He should have really thought about his talent. Like, if Trisha was just there as a talent, he should have really thought about all of that. Like, he was at fault because he was not a boss man, and he just kind of like, for the views, for the anger, for people to see an angry show or see Trisha go off, he let it go and he pushed it and he let it go. You know, whenever you work at a, like, let's say at a fast food place, and like, you never see the boss, you never see the CEO, you only see managers. And like, if you have a shitty manager, you're gonna feel like shit, right? Or you're gonna feel like bad, and you're not gonna really want to do your job correctly. You're always gonna be like in a bad attitude, bad mood. But if you have a good boss, and a boss that actually sticks up for you and does listens to your voice, listens to your input. Let's say you work at a fast food place and you're like, oh, I really hate how we only have 15-minute breaks. The boss really can't change that because as a corporate, right? He at least should have a good listening ear and be like, oh, you could do this instead, or here, how about you go and like peel carrots instead of going to be with the customers. If you little need a little break, you know what I'm saying? Like, they accommodate. But Ethan seems he's like a bad boss because he was not really like accommodating to his talent. And since it was his house, his company, his cameras, his everything, he should have really talked to Trisha behind closed doors and been like, what are your needs? What do you want? I'm here for you. Maybe send a representative to our meetings about what's going to happen on the show. Here's the schedule. Here's what's going to happen. I want your voice, I want your opinions, but he's not he was not that type of boss. So I feel like he's at fault in that. And I feel like if he wanted to be the boss and he wants to say, hey, I'm in control, then he should have talked to Trisha behind closed doors again about the money. Hey, here's the 5%. This is where it goes to. It's a lot of money. It's not like just like $100. It's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So obviously she wants to be an advocate for herself and say where's and how that money is being used correctly. Like, or if like Ethan didn't want to do that, he could have been like, hey, it's my show. I decided what to do with it and how it's going to be done. And the highlights money, that's all going to be my money because that's my channel. You're not even a part of it. So he really should have talked to Trisha behind closed doors. I'm like, hey, this is the money situation, and it's if you don't agree with the terms and conditions, we don't have to do this show anymore. But since he's not a boss man, he's not the type of boss to correctly, or he could have been like, okay, if highlights money 50% for you too. If he's like really that of a boss, or been like, hey, since you're in the highlights, or whenever you show up in the highlights, I'll give you, let's say, 30% of the cut just because I produce it and I decide and it's on my channel. But no, he's not that type of boss. I just feel like Trisha is a bad worker. She's a good and a bad worker. Like, she's good because she brings the drama, she brings the different energy, she brings like people watch her for, her personality, but at the end of the day, if you can't keep a job longer than a year, or if you can't like keep doing something successful, nobody's gonna want to work with you. She's saying that she's gonna have all these shows or all these reality shows. That's what she wants. Trisha really wants to be in like Bravo. She desires to be on television. She desires that type of spotlight. But if you're going to always be quitting like Celebrity Big Brother or whatever, she quit that. She's not going to have a great career, or people are not going to want to work with her because they're going to know, oh, we only have like 2 or 3 months with her, and she's going to freak out and she's going to start talking bad about our company after we part ways, or after she decides she doesn't want to work anymore. So that's kind of a bad deal. Like, yeah, she brings the views, yeah, she brings her followers, but at the end of the day, is it worth it? Where our reputation is going to be tarnished. She's going to drag our name through the ground when she's done with us, and when she's upset with us when we part ways. Maybe, well, some people do like any type of, whenever anybody talks to you, to millions of viewers, I feel like people like it. So maybe if they're the type of people that are like, yeah, let me get this money, let me get this coin, let people talk about me, even though it's bad, because at the end of the day, we're still gonna be talked about, we're gonna be relevant. And if she keeps talking about us, then, but then again, if you really think about it, people that want to work with Trisha should really be careful, because she destroyed David Dobrik's. I mean, not her alone. I mean, it was her viewers, her voice, Ethan's voice. Like, I know it was wrong. I know this guy did something wrong, but if Trisha wouldn't have been speaking out about it, if she would have, okay, even though it's wrong, I know it's wrong, but let's say I want to work with Trisha in the future, and I look at her background and I look everything she's done in the past, and I'm like, oh, in the future she's gonna talk trash about me for like years and years and years, eventually mess up all my future endorsement deals, all my future, like, I feel like it wouldn't be worth it. Because, like, yeah, David, she was talking about him for years and years and years, and people were listening and people were commenting and following along the story. But now, after she tarnished his name, and lots of people started ended their ties with him, I don't think it was worth it, because now he's not even getting money. So I personally would never work with her, because she's just like a bad person to work with, because at the end of the day, she's gonna talk crap about you and then just throw you in the dirt, and she's gonna be over there thriving and being successful. I don't know if it's because of the fact that she's a woman and that she's likable. Like, nobody's gonna say she's not likable. I mean, I personally followed her for a long time. I mean, she kind of only mainly did it to one person, David Dobrik. I feel like Trisha was in charge of a lot of what happened to David Dobrik. I mean, I never watched David. I never but it's kind of scary. And I feel bad for Trisha because people are going to be really listening and thinking about what her past and what she has done. And I feel like nobody else is going to want to work with her unless she changes her ways. Like if she's like, oh, dang, I really messed up. I really want to think about my future and future companies and future people that want to work with me. I personally would be scared of if I was in this skin company with her. Like that lady, that CEO, that other lady that's getting 50% of the beauty company, I would be scared because, like, let's say our business fails, then she's going to talk bad about me. And then my business is going to fail even worse. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if Trisha really wants to be successful, I feel like she needs to do a couple more shows, like 2 or 3 months of Frenemies. And then she needs to really end it. Like, she needs to go to work, do her job, talk, whatever, act like she's well and okay with it. And then she needs to come up with a different project that gets her out of Frenemies. You know what I'm saying? Go back, do her show, even though she hates it, even though she doesn't want to be there. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.